Cricket's African Caribbean Engagement Programme, also known as ACE, is launching a new strategy called Road to Representation. Founder of ACE, Ebony Rainford-Brent, joins me live now from Lords to tell us all about it. Ebony, great to talk to you. First of all, just explain, what are the aims of this new strategy?
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for having us. The aim really of the strategy is to move the conversation and the direction in our sport of cricket towards representation. When we first started the charity 5 years ago, there was a real danger that the Black British community in cricket was dying off. We weren't seeing professional players come through and the grassroots was dying off. And in the last 5 years, the evidence we've seen now from all of our programme now means that we can see a route to representation. Professional players out on pitches like where we are here at Lords coming through. And we now have a rookie contract programme, which is actually going to be showing on Sky as a documentary series over the next few weeks as an series. But we're really excited to now be able to change that narrative and say we can see a real route to being able to see this game of cricket being represented by Black British players coming through our schools, communities and hubs, but all the way to the professional game. And we're going to be offering trying to get 10 professional players by 2030. And we're offering 2 rookie contracts this year to 1 boy and 1 girl. And hopefully we'll see that talent shine.
Yeah, I mean, how challenging do you think it will be to get, you said 10 professional cricketers into the game through your programme within that time frame that you mentioned?
Yeah, look, I think the reality is it's a real big, ambitious challenge, but that's what we've been about with ACE over the last 5 years. It was ambitious to think whether it was possible. And what we're seeing, 21% of our current elite scholars are getting into the talent pathway into sort of junior counties. So we're already seeing that 1 in 5 of our talent is making it through. Some of those talented youngsters were hardly engaged in cricket before. Some were in but didn't have the support and the network and that sort of support around them. So we really believe, and we've sort of crunched those numbers, that if we keep producing at the rate we are, 21% getting into the elite game within the next, getting us up to 2030, we can see those 10 professional cricketers. So it's ambitious, but it is possible at the rate we are seeing that talent come through. And for us, boys and girls is important. So we've also launched a girls programme called Blaze Her Trail, where we're really doubling down with athletic young girls who are inspired by what we're seeing in the women's sport and women's movement. And we're really driving towards that 10 professional cricketers in the next few years.
You touched on it a little bit there in terms of numbers, percentages. Just give us a little bit more insight in terms of how many people the ACE programme has engaged with so far since you started 4 years ago, and just a little bit more about the results that you're seeing from that.
Yeah, so the total programme, we've engaged over 26,000 in total, which is an incredible number, and we're in 6 cities. So we have programmes across the country: London, Bristol, Birmingham, Manchester, Nottingham, Sheffield. So we've got a real good reach. And in every single city, we have schools, community hubs, development academies, and that all flows into supporting into the county pathway. So if you've never hit a ball before, there's an ACE programme for you. And if you're someone with talent, but maybe not the resources and support, we can also get you into that sort of professional structure. And in terms of throughput per year, we're looking at pushing 20,000 every year now. We're fully supported by Sport England, ECB, which is allowing us to build that capacity and staff. And one of the things we really want to do, we're seeing girls in our academy around 20% now, but we want to get to pretty much 50-50 by the end of 2030. So that's a lot of work for us to do, but it's really taking place. So 20,000 kids per year across 6 cities are really thriving.
And a year has passed since the publication of that damning ICEC report into racism and diversity in the game. Overall, how would you assess the state of representation across both the men's and women's game at the moment?
Yeah, look, when the ICEC report was launched, I was someone who was quite vocal about wanting to see more being done in the game. And I have to say that I was hopeless before, being in the game a long time. And I didn't think people really cared at that point, or it wasn't quite on the agenda in the way I wanted to see it. I would genuinely and honestly say now it is on the case. I still believe we've still got more to do, and I want us to really accelerate change, put our foot on the gas with it. But what we are seeing, I think everyone genuinely cares, everyone realises there's work to do, and I do feel like the cricket community now is fully invested behind trying to drive this game to be more inclusive, not just across diversity and gender, but across many different areas that people needed to be included. So I feel it was really important for cricket to have that moment, that sort of almost rocket. But we're seeing now with programmes like ACE, Chance to Shine, Lords Taverners, everybody's really getting behind that and the national game at ECB to drive inclusion and change.
Ebony, it's really great to hear all about the work that you're doing. Thank you so much for joining us.